here with a Filofax setup for you for November. I'm back in my Filofax because I have figured out over the last year that for me, planning works best in a Filofax. Recording information that I need to get back to works best in a bound book, which is why I've got my A5 Hobonichi for next year. And just general journaling and notes and odd bits and pieces that are of no consequence but I want to keep, which I call my commonplace book, works best in my Midori. So that's what I've done. I've swapped into my planner. I need my planner for December anyway. And I thought, well, I might as well just do it now. I might as well get it over with and, you know, it's sorted then. So this is my setup. This is a Filofax Kensington. You will often find these on eBay very, very cheap, and they're usually listed as dark brown, but this is burgundy. If you see the brown one next to it, you can see straight away the brown is actually more like the Midori. This is definitely burgundy. It is beautiful. It is soft, buttery soft leather. I love this leather, but at the same time it's really light. This entire thing, which looks very, very heavy, is just over £1 in weight, which is that's nothing. You know, anyone who carries a Filofax will know that that is nothing in weight. So it's I suppose people would call that stuffed. I don't think it's particularly stuffed. If you look at what's actually on the rings, there's hardly anything on it. It's certainly not stuffed on the rings. But this section where I add in extra bits certainly bulks it out. But this Filofax is so capable of taking additional stuff. It's got a really long strap. I can even put my phone in here if I want to, and it holds it well. You know, I just love this Filofax. I've got 3 of them now. 4 actually. I've got a black personal, a burgundy personal, a burgundy pocket, which I use as my wallet, and a black pocket, which I swap out for my wallet when I feel like it. It's actually got my extra cards in it at the moment. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this Filofax. I absolutely adore it. This is my favourite Filofax I've ever found, and it's actually, funnily enough, it's exactly the same style. Although I don't think my original was called a Kensington, but it's exactly the same style as the original one I had, which lasted for about 12 years. It finally died in 2008 when literally this part gave out. So yeah, they last a long time. It's in the old style design rather than the new ones, and it's just, I love it. What can I say? I love it. So since I'm not worried about getting dents or marks or anything on my Filofaxes, I've got my clip with my little sparkly German Shepherd. He seemed sparkling there. Isn't he pretty? Reminds me of my Gypsy. It's exactly the same shape as she is. It's beautiful. I also have my fox charm on the bottom here, purely because he was wandering around the desk and I didn't know where else to put him, and I had a little hanging thing on here already, so I thought, well, I'll just clip him on there for now, and he's kind of stayed. So inside, the Kensington only has 1 pen loop, and it's not a very big pen loop. It's not elasticated, it's leather. It's actually quite annoying because it simply cannot take these rubberized pens. So I put my highlighter in there, whoops, which you can see it holds it nice and snug, but it fits nicely. And then I generally just put my pen down in that gully there, and by the time I've closed it up, can you see how it traps the pen under the dividers, and between the dividers and that lip on the gusset of the pocket. So that pen's not coming out, but I've still got 2 pens in there, which is quite handy, and I don't have to keep messing about taking it in and out of things. That's not my favourite thing to do. So the setup of the Kensington, it's got an inner slip pocket here that goes all the way down. It's got 8 horizontal card holders. It's got another full length pocket at the back here, and then it's got a smaller gusseted coin pocket at the back. So as you can see on the rings itself, there's not an awful lot. My gaps are here, so there's really not an awful lot in there, but because I bulk it out with additional stuff that I stick on, like these post-it notes, it does bulk out quite a lot in the middle, but like I say, the long strap means that it can hold it. In here I've got some coupons that I need to put into my pocket for my wallet, but I keep forgetting. I've got a business card for an event that I'm going to in November. I've got a couple of cards that I don't use very often, but I need to have on me, like my phone top-up and my library card, my driver's licence and my Boots Advantage card. It's just a store card. In here, I've just got some small stickers. Now, to stop the small stickers disappearing down under the back here and getting caught, because what happens is, with wearing big rings, if you put your hand in there and you pull it out, you get your finger caught on the rings. So instead of having to do that, I've just put it inside one of these wallets, these zip wallets. I don't know what's up with this zip wallet, but the outer holes, this hole and this hole, are too close together. They're not in the right place, so when you put them on the rings, it's really hard to turn it. It gets stuck all the time. But my stickers fit in here quite nicely, and it gives it a little bit of a 1/2 inch buffer on this side, so it makes this bit a little less thick, and it also pushes the stickers up just far enough that you can put your hand in and find them easily without having to reach in. So in there I just have my green and blue Hobonichi template stencils that I use for, this one I use for my bullet journal, and this one is the weather and travel, which I just use for additional, keys on my calendar. I've got my diary stickers, I've got some, another business card, that should be in there. I need to file that away. Got some ring reinforcers, I've got some of these clear iconic stickers that I use for sort of highlighting things. I've got some hearts, I've got some dots, and I've got the Evernote Moleskine stickers that I use. So those all fit in there rather nicely, and that whole pack slots in there. So it's actually really good because I can just take the whole pack out when I want to use this stuff, rather than having to keep reaching into that pocket and flipping pages backwards and forwards. It's a lot easier to just have it all in a pocket and just pull the whole thing out. My front page, my dashboard for this month, I'm using my Hocus Pocus one, which I was using for October as well. If you can't see it, it says keep calm, and I am calm. I love her, she's awesome. At some point during this month I will swap it out for my fox one that Mrs. Brimble's made me, so that it matches my other foxy bits, but at the moment this is quite appropriate. So I've got a plastic dashboard, and then I've got this is just a piece of scrapbook paper with a picture on it. I don't tend to stick things on here unless it's like a really important reminder, like don't forget to phone somebody. I'll grab one of these little mini stickers and I'll stick it on there, like as a, first thing in the morning I open my Filofax, don't forget to do that first thing before you do anything else. But I don't generally use it for just sticking stuff on. Then I've got this is the front page that came with my Filofax Fusion. And I just really like the design of it, so I stuck a little foxy sticker on with my name, my business email address and my business mobile number, so if my book gets lost they know where to put it back. And then I've got my Filofax information as well. This is a Project Life card that I actually just put this in here this morning because I found it floating around the desk. It's actually from my happiness project that I've been working on this year, and which I'm going to continue to work on next year. But I just really like it. I don't know what it is I like about it, but I just really like it. It's nice to have it there. And I've just on the back, I've got a list of things that make me happy, and you know, every so often I'll add to it. My papers are colour coded. You should know my colour coding system by now. So right at the front here, I've just got a couple of sheets of yellow paper for really important stuff. Just memory joggers that I need to keep in mind. Then I've got, these are the white dividers, white dividers that came with my Kensington. They're beautiful. They're the 2009 version, and they're beautiful creamy white. They're like the cotton cream setup. They're lovely sepia writing on. They're really, really nice. Much nicer than the horrible yellow ones you get now. And just to make them stand out a little bit, I've got my Girl of All Works tabs on here. So this is my schedule. I've got my 2014 calendar, which I need to mark off October. 2013, 2015. I've got my year at a glance. This is the W.H. Smith's pullout, which I use just for writing in all my, this is my When Frogs Sing class. This is all the classes, all the sessions for the whole year. Because I often find that I'll come up with an idea and I'll think, oh yeah, I should write that down. When is that class? You know, and I'll be like, well, I haven't got my notes with me. I haven't got my Hobonichi with me. I haven't got my class book with me, so I haven't got that information. So in every book or diary or whatever, I've got one of these. They're only about £2.99. I've got one of these, and I wrote out all my information for the whole year. And I will do the same for next year, because it's really handy just having it here. You know, I've got 10 minutes sitting having a coffee, and I think, oh, I could write some notes for such and such a class. When is it? And, you know, I can just pop on here and find the date and go, oh yeah, it's November the 5th. So today they are starting a prompt week. So I've got, that means no filming at all at the moment. And then we're going into a filming session for 10 days afterwards. So it's just really handy to have that information there. It should be in my information section, but I use it so much I actually pulled it forward to my schedule section. It makes more sense to me there. Sorry, I keep turning it sideways so that it's, I usually hold it like that, you see, and turn it that way. The bulk of my schedule section is my monthly calendars, which I use for scheduling events and keeping an overview of the month. I note down things like bill days. These are just on stickies that I take that off and I move it. And when I've finished, I'll write bills paid, tick. I highlight things that are due. I'm on a particular medication at the moment that I have to take alternate weeks. I have to take one twice a week, 1 week, and one twice a week the following week. You can see it's really confusing. So I put the colour code in here. It just made it easier. This is where I use the majority of my diary stickers. I love my diary stickers for these. Anything in pink is YouTube, obviously. Anything in green is bills. You know, yellow's important, blue is housework and dogs, orange is classes. That's my colour code, that's how it works. Got a little microphone down here because we're going to the theatre that day. I've got my clear ruler. I don't like the frosted rulers. I put the frosted ruler in my Christmas journal actually because I don't need to be able to see it through it, but nothing drives me more balmy than not being able to see what I'm doing, which is why this is on here, so that when I open my journal, there's my information straight away. I've got a little ghost sticky note with some stickers on here, and these are my colour coding stickers. They actually come in a pack that looks like this originally and folded over, and all I did was I cut it off, opened it out, punched some holes, and now it fits in there, which is rather handy. And that is one of the things that bulks out. It saves a lot of ring space, but it bulks out here, which is why my planner looks very thick, but there's actually not much on the rings. There's December with a notes page. And then for next year, I've actually swapped it to week on 2 pages because I just find those boxes really small. I like them, but they're far too small. I would like this much more if it was 2 pages that way. But, you know, they don't do that one. And I can't be bothered faffing around with printing things. I've had my fill of printing things. I do love my DIY fish inserts and my Road Crusade inserts and everything else, but printing is just such a hassle. Even when you can do it really easily, it's still a hassle. You've still got loads of cutting and prepping and hole punching and all that kind of thing to do. I don't mind doing it so much for my Midori because you can just fold it in half and trim it up. But when you've got to keep punching holes and things, I'd rather just buy the inserts. I buy the cheapest ones I can get and I find them on eBay. I never ever buy anything from the Filofax website or anything like that unless I absolutely have to. If I can't find what I need, I buy it from the Filofax website. But there's some really good sellers. I usually use LBM Stationery on eBay. They're absolutely fantastic. I ordered this pack, what day is it today? It's Wednesday today. I ordered this on Monday and it just arrived this morning. So they're really fast and I've never had any problems with them. So, and they're also really good if you accidentally order the wrong thing. You can say to them, oh no, swap it over for me, and then they will. I know this from experience. So this is the one I've got for next year. That's my 2015 calendar. I've got 2014, 2016, obviously. I've got a year notes. This is going to be handy. I'm going to use this for marking in things that happen once a year that I often tend to forget about, like renewing my Vimeo payment or renewing the vet thing at for the dogs, you know, stuff like that. I've got the month on 2 pages for next year. Monday start. It just makes it easier for me to see what's going on. I like the fact that they've got the large numbers for the actual month and smaller numbers for the month that it's not. So 29, 30, 31, and then it's got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for when you're trying to work out what next week's date is, you know. And then it's got the list here, which it's not really big enough for anything in particular, but I might use it for just logging when I've done a video or when I've done a blog post so that I can see at a glance, because I really like in my DIY fish inserts, I really liked being able to see my month with what I'd done and when I'd done a blog post and when I'd done a YouTube, and I just think that would be really nice. But what I'll probably do is just highlight it. I won't even bother writing in what it is, I'll just highlight it in pink, that way I know it's a YouTube day. Highlight it in some other colour. I'll probably use blue because blue is admin and websites. Highlight it in blue, that means I've done a blog post, you know, and just do it like that rather than trying to write in those tiny little things, because even my writing is too big for those little squares. So yeah, that's I've got the full year in there. It goes up to December. It's got January calendar, and then it's got 2, 4, 5 pages of notes. So if you wanted to do some forward planning, there's nothing stopping you, you know, having January, February, March, April, May. You know, you've got the first 5 months of the year you can put on there. Then I've got my to-do section, and this is my bullet journal. I'm going to do a separate thing on my bullet journal because I have been asked for that. So I won't go too much in depth on this. I've got my timetable that, again, this was an insert from the Filofax Fusion. And what I intend to do is set up my days that I'm going to schedule a YouTube video and a blog post. So I'm going to set up when I'm going to write my blog posts, when I'm going to film my YouTubes, and then when they're going to go live and when they're going to... I just want to be a little bit more organised and say, right, okay, Monday I'm going to film a YouTube video that'll go live on Wednesday, so Tuesday I need to do some editing. You know, just do it like that, and then on this side it'll be for classes. That's October's bullet journal, the end of October. This is November. This is my monthly must-dos. So this is everything that I have to do in November. Not stuff I want to get done or I'd like to get done or in an ideal world I'll get done. This is stuff that absolutely must be done this month. without question. It has to be done. There's no two ways about it. Then I've got my daily bullet journal. I didn't actually start it until the 3rd of November because that was a Monday, because the Saturday and Sunday I was away. So I was busy and out and doing stuff and not working because it was Halloween weekend. We don't work on Halloween weekend. So I didn't start it until the 3rd, which is why there's not much in here, which is why I haven't shown you my bullet journal yet. I'm going to do that a little later in the month when there's a bit more in it and it's a bit more obvious what's going on. I've got my fly leaf here. This is one I made out of, you know, the slip covers, the plastic slip covers you get on Filofaxes these days. Well, my penny bridge came in a Filofax slip cover, so I chopped it up and I used it for fly leaves, and they're all removable like all my fly leaves. I left a tab on the bottom because for me, when I open my Filofax, I open it with my thumb there. So that takes me straight to the 3 most important pages, which is my month, my bullet journal, and back here is my YouTube page. So on my fly leaf, I've just got some post-it notes that I use for, you know, reminders, and I love this set. They're today, reminders, urgent, soon, and sometime, and they're really good. They stick. What more can you say? And I've got this cute little fox tab on there as well. He's not on there for any particular reason other than to hold these on because they keep sticking up. He doesn't really need to be on there. Oh, he's got sticky stuff on him. This was one of the ones that Carrie sent me. He's really cute. He's all wrapped up for winter with his little scarf and his snail buddy. I do like my foxes. So that's really just on there as an extra, you know, here's today kind of thing. I probably should have mentioned back here, these are removable as well. So if I'm working in a different section, I can take those out, and obviously my ruler is removable. But all my fly leaves are removable so that I can just turn them over, so I don't have to keep opening my rings. I actually purchased some quadrille paper. I finally found some personal size quadrille paper, LBM stationery, again on eBay. They're fantastic. Again, I just can't be bothered with the hassle of printing it out and then having to hole punch it all and cut it all out, and then it doesn't line up properly, and it's just, ugh, it just annoys me. I'd rather just spend the money and get the note paper that I want to use. So I got some quadrille paper. That's for my bullet journal. In my projects section, I have my sticky notes. These are the full-length post-it notes that I use for my projects. I should have a blue set there, but I can't find them. I've put them somewhere and I don't know where. I think they might be in my really big notebook. Again, I've got my Girl of All Works tab on here because I think... Oh no, it is projects. It does say projects on there. Diary notes and projects, and I've got schedule to do and projects. I use the to-do lists here for a list of ongoing projects that I've got and what's in this section. And as I finish it, I cross it out. There are some things obviously that are constantly in here, like my YouTube ideas lists, monthly favourites and schedule, my website lists, my Witchy Wednesday stuff. I had word of the year 2014, I've added 2015 in, I've got my crochet bits. So yeah, I've just got, you know, well, I'll show you what I've got in here. So that's my project list. I just use those to-do sheets for those. Then I've got my YouTube section. That's where my 3rd fly leaf goes to. And I don't know if you can see very well, but on these little fly leaves, I put, on this one I put a little movie thing for YouTube. And on my bullet journal one, I put a little check mark for my bullet journal. It just made more sense to me than trying to fit something on here in writing. I don't read things, I look at pictures. So to me that made more sense. So I've got my overall YouTube ideas list, my October favourites, my November favourites that I'm working on now. I've just stuck that on with one of these so that I can, you know, when I finish that post-it note, I can get rid of it. And this is just, you know, holding this down because otherwise it does this and it flaps about and it gets annoying. Then I've got my YouTube list set up as bullet journal here, as you can see. I'm not showing you that, I don't want to spoil the surprises. And then I've got just extra pink paper at the back. Again, I do my YouTube like a bullet journal. I've got a page here for websites, which I did have one to put on and I couldn't find the bit of paper. In fact, I could take that bit of paper off, I think. Yeah, I could take that bit off there and put it on there so I can find my websites. I've got my Witchy Wednesday, I've got some Q&A questions to do. I've got a list of what I've done and an extra page for ideas. I've been working on my 2014, this is from last year, my 2014 word of the year. And I'm going to put my 2015 on there. I've got a write out of a pattern. I just wrote it out. This is the African violet blanket that I'm working on in my, I showed you in a previous video, black, pink, purple, red and white. Then I've got purple for personal stuff. I've got my bookmark with my books list, so I've got my really big read. I need to update that because I've read quite a few of those. And then I've got my personal book list of what I've got on my audio books or my Kindle, so I just put an A or a K depending on which they're on. I've got my film list, films that I want to see, and my TV list of TV shows that I want to look up. I've got my things to read list, which is I just took straight out of my Midori and just put some holes in it with my nerd glasses from Vicky. Aren't they awesome? Oh, I love those, they're so cool. This is my list of things that I have chucked in Evernote to read later. So I like to keep a written list so that, you know, I don't end up with too many things in there. Then I've got my planner set up, information. All this orange stuff is for When Frogs Sing 2014 and 2015. I can't show you that, but it's basically just, you know, it's scribbles and notes and bullet journal type stuff like my YouTube. Then I have a when I've got 5 minutes list of, you know, short jobs that I keep putting off and things the fairies have stolen, which I actually, they have actually just returned that yesterday, so thank you very much, fairies. That's back, and now I need to find my tablets, please. I've got a list of computer stuff that I need to do for my end of year archiving, which I've already started. I've updated my Mac last night. I'm also using I was going to do a list of things that I wanted to do in the, excuse my language, but it's the actual app, Unfuck Your Habitat. I actually use the app on my phone because it's easier than writing a list. You can actually put, sorry for the flickering, I hope that's not causing anybody any problems. You can set a challenge by room and do a random stuff, or you can actually have a full list and set it by room. So I can organise this. I've got this set up for the office or studio, and I've just got, you know, short tasks, small drawers repurposed for electricals, main desk 2, clear storage area and glass turntables, under the desk, launder the doggy duvet and clear out any rubbish. So it's, you know, it's just quick little tasks, and I can just go in, set a timer, mark it off, job done. So it's easier than writing it down. I was going to write it down in here, but now I'm just going to do a master plan of what rooms I've done and what rooms I haven't done. That's my fall cleaning list, which is on my November to-do list back here. See, fall cleaning already started. Then I've got some blue pages for housework and dog stuff. I've got some art projects that I need to get on with, and I've got just a couple of address pages for, these are for swaps and things. So like, I normally only have one in here, but I've got an extra one to protect people's privacy. But what I do is I write in the name and address, and then I put a checkbox next to it like that. So that's Corey's, and that's her fox closure, which I've made but I haven't sent out yet. So I can tick that off. I've made it, and it needs to go in the post. Same with this one. This one's for Marianne, so I've made it, and it needs to go in the post. See, nice and easy. I've got the addresses there, and then I can just cross them off when I'm done. Then I've got a couple of sheets of blank paper just in case. My information section, I've got my personal information set up. I've got some notes for different things, like just odd bits and pieces, like how much paint I need to paint the walls downstairs, a list of websites, a couple of sheets of, you know, random bits of paper, just for like when I'm on the phone and I need to take some notes or something like that. I write it down there. I've got my financial section, where I've got my monthly bills and when they're due and the date they're due and how much they are and where they come from. I've got my Girl of All Work expenses sticker on that particular page. I've got my expenses envelope from My Life All in One Place. This is one of Ray Blake's inserts. I think he might have done it for Filofax, I'm not sure, but it's definitely on his website. And this is just receipts for October, November, December. It tends to be just like odd bits and pieces of receipts and bus tickets and stuff like that. Then I've got any Google payments I've received. I like to keep a track of those. And then I've got my address section. I don't actually have much in here. I've got my emergency envelope and a stamp, because, you know, you always need to send something in an envelope with a stamp and you can never find one. So I've got one. Then I've got important home contacts. So this is like, you know, the electrician, the plumber, the hardware man, the person who services the washer, my tattooist, my doctor, all that kind of stuff. And then in here, as you can see, I've got my art pals. I put this on here, isn't it cute? Cute little washi tape with little girls all over it. And you can see under there, I've got art pals. So that is people I regularly do swaps with, or people I write to, people like my pen pals, things like that. I've got a couple of basic addresses just of very close friends and family, and then I've got some extra sheets at the back just in case I need it, and I've got some more internet address sheets. I don't quite know. Oh yes, I was going to put these, because I was going to move my address section, keep just emergency numbers in here, so just that bit there, and then move these out into my compact Lux, because I can have internet addresses for places that I buy online, I can have addresses for businesses, I can have addresses for you know, friends and family, that kind of thing. At the back I've got another flyleaf. This is just spare at the moment, and I've just got my library tab on it. Again, this is a removable one. It's just handy to have a spare tab. Then I've got this slip wallet, which has got my colour coding in. You may recognise this from back when I was using DIY fish inserts. This is one of those that sticks to itself and everything in it, so I didn't pull it out. I left it in there. I still use my colour coding in my bullet journal if I need it, and I just use this area for sticking on my Girl of All Work tabs. So if I've got something that's upcoming that I really need to make sure that I remember, I can just whip this out and stick it in there. On the back here, I had an idea. This is more of the transparent post-it notes, the glassine post-it notes, and the stickers for my Evernote book. Now, there are not many stickers in that book, and I go through them really fast. So what I did was I took the ones that I use all the time, I stuck them on with a bit of proper glue. They've got a bit grubby, I don't know how that's happened. I stuck them on with a bit of proper glue to make sure they stuck to the tabs, and then I can use these, I can reuse them, I can put these on the page, do my thing for Evernote, and then put them back on here when I'm done. So that's rather useful. I will talk about that more in my Evernote video, which is coming up in the projects videos that myself, Carrie Harling and Miss Vicky B are doing for November. That will be on the 14th and the 28th of November. And then at the back here I've got a wallet, just just another top opening wallet, but it's one of the frosted ones, so it doesn't stick to everything. In here I've just got a ruler and my repeat prescription and a couple of blood test lists, things that I need to go and get done later in the year, and I don't want to lose them. And on the front I've just stuck my tabbed post-its that I use all the time. I don't know why there's bits stuck on there. It's dog hairs and things. I don't know how that happened. And then underneath I've got some of the post-it flags. They're a bit like the Girl of All Work tabs, but you know, it's just handy if you're working on something to just stick one of those in so you can keep referring to the same page all day. Nearly there. In the back of here I just have some pre-printed note paper, just odd bits and pieces, my chores lists, things like that. These are from Hello Cuteness. I love these, they're so adorable. I've got some note paper that I've put holes in, and I have my glassine sticky notes. And then I don't actually keep much in this wallet, but I do keep a couple of bits that keep falling about. So I've got my Chronodex stickers for when I need them, and my big highlighter stickers. These are my glow in the dark stickers. They actually do glow in the dark. So if there's something really important, I can stick those on, and even in the dark I'll be able to know that I've got something really important to do. But unfortunately I won't be able to read it because it will be dark. Oh dear. So yeah, I know. That is my November setup. And you'll notice that there's nothing in there apart from a monthly page for December going forward. That is because my Christmas stuff is in my Christmas Filofax, which is here. My red domino with its white Santa band. I love this thing. This is my Christmas Filofax, and you won't be able to see that yet because this is for Christmas Chronicles class. But if you're interested in joining us, I'm doing a complete 1 month class, planning, journaling and other fun stuff for Christmas. Come along and join us. Details I'll put down below. It's always a really fun class. We've been doing it. This is the 3rd year we've done it now, and it's always really fun and cool to see what other people are doing. So if you want to make sure that you get your own little bit of sanity over Christmas, come and join us for that. And I will show you this later on. I can't show you yet, of course, because it's for the class. So there you go. If there's anything you want to see more in depth, or you know you want to ask about, do ask questions below. I am going to do a video on my bullet journal because I've been asked for that time and time again. It's basically the same as I've always done. I've just started doing it a bit neater now that I've got my Hobonichi templates, but you know, people ask for these videos, so I will do the video. And that's it for today. I will see you next time. Bye.